All right, here we are at AES at the Sound Toys booth, and I have this gentleman here. We just another person we snagged off the floor because
Very happy to be here.
And who are you? May
Who
I
are
ask?
you? Well, my name is Nick Launay. That's a French name. I'm French, but born in England. And I'm a record producer, but I also am a recording engineer. So I've recorded pretty much every album I've ever made and mixed most of them. So I'm very much a sound person, and I started off in that way, you know, more than a musician. So I started off as an engineer and then became a record producer.
And you started a while ago. I'm not going to say anything
Yes.
about when, but
Let's say 1977.
1977.
Well, kind of, yeah.
In
79 to be accurate.
And you were, what, 6, right, then, when you started?
Actually, I wasn't born. I started before I was born, which gave me an advantage.
Exactly.
Yep.
So you were ahead of the curve.
Yep.
You're an advanced child,
We
prodigy.
like to do that.
Yes.
Yep.
So you've had a long career of mixing records. Let's. What stuff have you worked on that you had enjoyed?
Well, it's probably best to explain how I started.
Okay.
The first lucky break I got was with Johnny Rotten with Public Image. And I was 20, I think, at the time. And I was an assistant and got put on a Public Image session. Mainly because I was the newest kid at the studio, which was the Townhouse recording studio. And no one else wanted to work with John because he had a reputation of throwing up on the desk and pissing in the corner and being obnoxious. So well, I got put on that session, which was great because I was a huge Sex Pistols fan. And basically one thing led to another. I could go into a very long story here, but I got on very well with John.
That's excellent.
I guess did a couple of things that he liked with the equipment in the studio, and he then made me co-producer of the record.
Wow, awesome.
So that got me a big start. I did an album called The Flowers of Romance, which got a lot of attention in England, and it actually charted really well, despite the fact that it really is not a commercial record in any way at all. It's all basically a 20-year-old, or I think I might have been 19 actually at the time, being allowed to go crazy with all these effects. You know, bear in mind, I'd only started at the Townhouse probably 3 months before that. The Townhouse Studios is a recording studio that was probably the most popular in London at the time, and I was very lucky to get a job there. And it belonged to Virgin Records, so all the Virgin, you know, sort of new wave acts were going through there. So I got a lot to work with a lot of people.
I love new wave.
Yes.
Can you tell it's still the shoes and the hair? I'm so old I can't even tell anymore.
Sorry? What?
I said I'm so old you can't even tell anywhere that I'm a new wave fan. So.
Well, I can tell.
Yeah,
it's
good.
the Mohawk. It's a giveaway. But anyway, where I was going with this was that because I did this Public Image record, it led to working with a lot of more left field rock bands of that time, like the Gang of Four and Killing Joke and the Slits and Nick Cave's early band, which was the Birthday Party. And now cut to 35 years later, I've been working with Nick Cave for a long time now. I've done the last 10 albums of his. So
wow.
that's kind of probably the most consistent artist I've worked with.
And you worked on the newest record, yes?
Yes,
awesome.
I did work on that one too, yeah. We did that in France.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it's doing well, from what I understand.
It is doing well. You know, obviously it's very unusual circumstances around that record, but yeah, it's a great record.
Cool. So you've done a lot of stuff over many years, and so
too much.
Too
I need
much.
to stop. Actually, I should go on holiday and.
You should take. Is this not
travel.
a holiday? This seems like
I'm on holiday right now. You have
right.
no idea.
Just come and hang
great.
out, no pressure, hanging out at the Sound Toys booth. We'll get you. You come back at 5 o'clock. We'll have drinks.
Yeah, I want sand actually, palm trees. This would be
we
great.
could get sand. I'm sure we could arrange sand. Anyway, so there's got to be a reason that we sat you down underneath this logo and next to me, all branded.
Yes, it's true. Well, you know, I came very late to working with Pro Tools. I kept going with analog as long as possible.
That's great.
And because that's what I learned on. I learned how to edit and with sticky tape and making tape loops that went all the way around the room. That was my thing. And along came Pro Tools, and I didn't like the sound of it. I didn't like the sound digital, period. But eventually, things got better, and the plugins got better. And some of the plugins were phenomenal, to the point where I thought, if I invest in some
phenomenal
plugins,
plugins,
nudge, nudge, wink, wink, maybe I can make some good records with this. And I truly have found that Sound Toys have made the most inventive, creative ones of all. I mean, to me, there's nothing that comes close to. I mean, just the crystallizer alone, the Decapitator. I love having my music decapitated. So
we love that you do that.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of intelligent. I'd love to, talk to the guy who really invented all this stuff.
Well,
I think he's
he's
over
right
there
here.
somewhere. There he is.
He's over here going.
The man is guilty. He's grinning now.
He was the guy who was like jumping up and down with nearly every artist you mentioned that you worked with. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to look over there now. But the thing about it, for instance, I just want to say something. The Decapitator, it has all those buttons down the bottom.
Right.
The P, A, blah, blah. I mean, they really work. When you put a sound through it, the first thing you do, turn up the distortion a bit, and you go through it, and there's always one that just is, that's what I want. So there's some real intelligence gone behind why those exist. Yep. And so I'm looking forward to talking to him to find out where the hell he came from and what he's been messing with. What drug he's been taking as well, but maybe not.
Well, I can reference a couple of those things. I'll stay
The
away
drugs.
from a couple.
Okay,
Yes,
right.
He has the most outrageous collection of hardware gear. I mean, you said you came from analog.
Right.
He comes from analog. I mean, everything is. We have everything at the main office.
I can imagine.
It's a wonderful place to go, and we listen to everything. So that's cool. It's going to be picked up on the Decapitator.
Yeah, I mean, it's I've been very lucky to have traveled the world and worked, I think, in probably all the best studios in the world, especially England and America. And I've used a lot of desks, different desks, like the like really old ones, the red, and they all have a different distortion about them, and some are really good, some are really bad. And I think just the Decapitator alone, you can find that tone and distortion. That if I haven't made total sense of what the letters are. I can imagine what they mean, but
we have it. It's listed in the manual, but you don't.
I don't read manuals.
No, you don't have to look at that. It's not necessary. Actually, it's cool.
Actually, my friend over there, Atom,
he knows everything.
Greenspan, he reads the manuals, translates. He's
tells you about it later, or keeps it secret so you have no idea what's. And
that's right.
I just like that button.
That's it. Yeah.
But that's okay. That's the way. It's nice that our plugins reach those kinds of levels. I think because you don't have to know. You just have to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what it's all about.
That's where that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I've always done really crazy things with equipment. I've always put lots of EQs into delays into I do a lot of that, and I don't really think about it too much ahead of time as to like I have an idea of the sound I want,
right? But
the sequence of events can sometimes lead to something really spectacular that you didn't expect. And I think that the whole thing of now having the rack is a great thing. Yeah. I mean, I've been playing around with it for the last week in particular.
And you're enjoying it.
And I'm enjoying it. I do have some questions about being able to separate left from right. But maybe it's possible and I haven't worked it out. But I'm sure he has the... We're pointing over there. See, there's the camera. They don't know.
We'll give you all the secrets
Great.
later.
That's why I'm here, actually.
After the camera goes off, the secrets.
That's why I'm here.
Draw.
I want to know all the secrets. Yeah.
Anything else? Any cool stories? Or
I've got about
you've got a bajillion
9
stories.
Months of stories.
Yes. So I'll ask
pick a band.
Any particular moment on a recent project where Sound Toys helped you do something that was really important?
Yeah, I recently did a song with Gary Numan. It's actually for
I like that guy.
A band from Mexico City, but it's a Gary Numan song, a new song that they co-wrote, and he's singing on it, and there's synths on it, and I found that using the microshift and on the keyboards, I basically just put everything that said phase, shift, anything like that.
Right.
I put it on it, and it sounds like Gary Numan now. Because you see, Gary's not so into that old sound, that 80s thing that he
Right.
did,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I am. So that's what we did. We just put all your effects on the keyboards that were basically going like that, and now they go, and it's fantastic. And it's,
That is Gary Numan.
Yeah, that is Gary Numan, and it works. It worked on his voice and the synths. So that was fun to be able to just do that very quickly. I'm really into distortion on most things, and
Right.
I find the Devil Lock is I use that a lot on drums, and it's amazing. I mean, you can get like with a very cheap mic in a normal room, you can record it and then put it through that, and suddenly it sounds exactly like the sounds I used to get at the Townhouse, which had an incredible room that was stone. Had a stone floor, stone walls, and
Wow.
it's where the Phil Collins
That sound.
thing, that. Yeah. I was
Cool.
there.
You were
Yeah, I was
there.
there. Yeah, I was an assistant. I pushed record on that. I fell off my high chair when it happened.
Yes, of
But I
course.
mean that sound, for instance, what it is the volume created in that room, being stone, is so loud that the mics were overloading, the desk was overloading, and it's basically a combination of a small live, stone room, but also all the distortions, and you can pretty much create it with one effect.
Yeah, because Devil Lock pretty much overdoes
it does,
everything.
It does that. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's probably my favorite thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, I wish I could put it on live.
On live.
Yeah, on live. Yeah.
Dave Pensato said he put it on his salad, so
Well, there you go.
took it. You
There
stepped
you
it up
go.
a notch.
Yeah. I just want it on everything.
You totally won. Awesome. Well, you know what? I'm not going to keep you because we're trying to keep
All
you
right.
roaming the floor and entertaining the masses. So I
Very
really
good.
appreciate you hanging with us and
Well,
sharing these
thank
moments
you for
with us.
inviting me.
And thank you for
it's
using
a pleasure.
Sound Toys.
Thank you.
Out.
Top class.